Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a video and it's a bit of a discussion, a bit of a thoughts video, so if you'd like to add anything in the comments, please just get involved in the discussion. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But the topic that I'm going to talk about, and it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, because we're talking about some of my favorite games here, was this game replaced by this one? Was Agricola replaced by Caverna, the Cave Farmers? Both designed by Uwe Rosenberg, both very similar in terms of their mechanics and their theming. So a lot of people are saying, oh, Caverna is Agricola 2.0, and Caverna completely replaces Agricola. And if you have Caverna, you have no reason to ever play Agricola. And having recently played a couple of games of Caverna and gotten it to the table, I've had some time to think about this, and now Agricola is and has been my favorite game for a very, very long time. Now Caverna may have just replaced that. I'm not saying it has, I'm not saying it hasn't. It would take a little more time for me to come to that conclusion, but what I will say is that the one definitely does not replace the other. Sure, there's mechanical similarities in terms of the fact that they both worker placement, in terms of the fact that there's action cards that come out to signify the different spaces and the different actions that you can take, but they are not the same game. They are similar, but they are different enough that you can completely have both in your collection and it's never a problem. After playing Caverna, I kind of think about it in terms of it's not so much just a sequel to Agricola, it's as though Agricola and this one, Glass Road, also Uwe Rosenberg, had a baby. In Agricola, at the start of the game, everyone gets a hand of cards, 7 minor improvements and 7 occupations, and you use those in addition to all the actions and things that you can build to create your engine, to create your machine that you're going to use to finish the game. Where in Caverna, the way I kind of see the engine building is similar to the way you have it in Glass Road, where you're laying out tiles on your space. And in addition to that, Caverna's also got that excellent expedition system that you can go on that really totally changes up the game and gives you multiple paths to victory. So Caverna is no doubt an amazing game, and in many ways, mechanically, it's an improvement over Agricola, but they are different enough that you can completely have both in your collection. I love Agricola. I'm never going to get rid of Agricola. I was worried when I got Caverna. I thought, oh, this might be the one that makes me finally get rid of Agricola, but no. I love them both. They both are very, very different. Agricola is a much tougher nut to crack for me. Everyone looks at Caverna and says it's much bigger, it's much more in-depth, much more hectic, and in a lot of ways it is, but in terms of strategically, I think that Agricola is a little more complex and a little more mentally challenging because you've got to come up with combos of cards based on the hand that you dealt. It's random, so every game of Agricola is a crunchy, thinky puzzle that's unique to the game that came before it. Whereas Caverna, the action spaces are set every time, and depending on whether you want to play the advanced version of the game, you have more furnishing tiles that you can put into your cave, but it's a different kind of puzzle that you need to solve. Agricola is very much solitaire in terms of the fact that you've got your cards, you need to use those cards in conjunction with the action spaces to create the best engine that you can. Caverna borrows a lot from Glass Road, where there's kind of a communal set of furnishing tiles, and based on which ones you can get to in time and based on which ones other players take, that'll kind of determine your strategy, but everyone kind of starts off on the same page. And Caverna your strategy is much more derived as you play, based on the choices of other players, as opposed to Agricola, where it's a much more solitaire experience, where you make your decisions based on the cards that you have in your hand. So as such, there's a lot more opportunity for things to, for there to be maybe more direct player interaction in Caverna, because people are going to be taking things essentially out of the hands of another player. Whereas in Agricola, someone takes a space, you say, oh, I'll just have to take that action next turn, or find another way around getting to that. What's also nice about Caverna is that not everything is necessarily represented as an action space on the board. There's a few things that you have to get in a roundabout way, either through rubies or going on expeditions. So there's a lot more... like I said earlier, there's multiple paths to get to where you want to go in Caverna. But both amazing games. Uwe is, of course, an amazing designer. And if you have Agricola in your collection, there's no reason you shouldn't have Caverna. Both fantastic games. Both games I'd highly recommend. And while you're out shopping, if you have money left over and you haven't checked it out yet, I would suggest you check out Glass Road, because it is also just brilliant. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Get involved. Look down there. There's like a place for you to write stuff. So write stuff, and I'll read it, and I'll write back, and we can chat and fight with each other, and eventually make love. Bye-bye.